I'm going to put an LED skylight in this section of our house because it just doesn't get as much natural light as I would like. For those that don't know, an LED skylight is one that connects to a solar panel that sits on your roof, so it mimics a traditional skylight, but it turns on and off with the sun. You can see here the main panel has two pieces, the sort of outer frame and then the actual LED panel. So the first step is I need to attach that outer frame to the ceiling, and I'm going to do that with these wall mates here, and here is me describing how wall mates work in case you don't know. Essentially you drive the wall mate into the wall and then a screw through the wall mate which expands it on the other side and locks it into place. They're not the strongest things in the world, but it's plenty enough to hold this lightweight LED skylight. So I grabbed a bunch of measurements to center this thing as best as possible, and I actually taped it in place while I was jigging it around, and this helped me a lot because it's always hard working with things overhead. So then I put 4 of these wall mates in to secure this frame into the ceiling, and then I just had to drill a hole in the center to pass through the cord that comes down from the solar panel at the top. I also did myself a favor and put this piece of yellow dung, this one's green, through here so it was easy to find in the ceiling cavity. You'll see me use that later. The next step is to install the solar panel, so it was time to get on the roof, and luckily it was a cracking day to do this. It was so nice up there. So I removed some tiles to install this thing, but I realized I didn't have to do that once I got to the end, and I'll explain why. The solar panel comes with these really thin brackets that you can actually slide under the existing tiles really easily. Last time I did one of these, I took tiles off and it was a lot harder. This was a great way to do this. So you just have to place these brackets in the right location and it slides under the existing tiles super easy. And then you have some brackets at the front that you sort of loop around the front tile here. And then I haven't actually fixed this off. I'm not sure if you're supposed to, but I couldn't quite figure out how to do that. But I figure it actually gets plenty of strength from the inside fixing, which you'll see in a moment. Once I replaced the tiles, it was time to get into the ceiling cavity and have a look at where these brackets have come out on the inside. So you can see these brackets poking out here, they're all straight, and I need to fix them off into that batten there. So I'm going to bend them down and just drive in one screw each, and that's going to be so much support for this solar panel, which is why I don't think those ones at the bottom actually need to be fixed into anything. It's more just to keep it from flapping up and down. Here's my piece of plastic that I pushed through, and you can see with all this insulation here, it would have been really hard to find exactly where my hole was. So I put the cord down and this made it really easy. Now we're back inside, and essentially I just have to connect this thing back up to the little plug. You can see how much light it's providing and slot it back in. It slips together really easily. This thing has made such a big difference. It feels like we now have a window in this area. I love it so much. I've put a link in the bio in case anyone wants one of these.